I thought that that traditional match was, I guess, one of the better traditional matches I've witnessed. Sort of epic swings. We were up 40 or 50 going in, like the 6th or 7th frame, and then we're down 30 or so going into the 10th. We benefited from a couple of opens, but when you have 4 girls throw doubles, you can make up for a lot of pins, and so I felt like we were able to capitalize on the momentum from that, and we just played really well in that Baker game.
So this question is for Mabel. So that 10th, that was kind of the turning point, and going into that last frame, your last three shots, what was going through your mind?
I'd like to say nothing, but there was definitely quite a bit of nerves. Obviously, when you need to double and count to win, you're very anxious. But I was just trying to listen to my teammates. They were telling me, "We're all with you. Take all the time you need to just relax." And I was just listening to them, just trying to take a deep breath and focus on the next shot that I had at hand.
You guys obviously are very familiar with Arkansas State being in your conference. You see them quite a bit throughout the season. What's the strategy tonight going into the show?
Our strategy against Arkansas is just play it like another match. I mean, obviously, we're bowling on a different set of lanes. TV is, of course, different, how the lanes play, how they break down. So I think our strategy will just be to focus on ourselves and stay as a team. I mean, we're bowling against ourselves. Just stay present and have fun, because there's nothing like TV.
Coach, not only did Mabel kind of turn the game there on the traditional match, but also in the Baker match, she opens up with, I want to say, 5 strikes. What does she mean to this program?
I think I think her performance is just a part of it. She is as put together an individual as you'll come across in all facets. And I think that, it took a minute for her to adapt to the Baker's thing just in college. But her Baker play this year has been absolutely astounding. Like, she's averaging over 220 for the year in Baker. When you get to the 10th frame and you need a double, statistically in the country, there's no one better than her. So, when we go to the traditional game, she needs 2. It's a hard task, but in some ways, there's nobody else you'd rather have do it. She means a lot. I mean, she means a lot.
Thanks, Coach.
You're welcome.
I've got a question for Caroline. You started that traditional game with 7 in a row. When did you have a feeling that you had it today? Warm-ups or into the match?
I think once the match actually started and kind of settled down and kind of shut everything up, I don't know if I really felt like I had anything. I was just kind of throwing shots and doing what I knew how to do. So I think once everything kind of started going and you can kind of feed off your teammates and feel the environment, that was kind of when everything settled
in. I know what it's like on the sidelines when you're down in that settee. In particular, let's talk about that traditional game, which I've already had veterans say was one of the best they've ever seen. Do you have a sense of the score, or are you just trying to block the score out?
Personally, I hate looking at the score. I try to avoid looking up there at all costs, so that I don't really have a sense of the kind of pressure that comes along with it, because I think it makes it easier to throw shots and execute when you're just free and just kind of doing what you practice all the time, like we always say. So yeah.
And one for Mabel. So it's a big win, but there's one more match to play. How do you get your feet back on the ground?
I mean, like I said earlier, TV's a whole different game, so we're going to pack up our stuff, clean our bowling balls, go get lunch, take a little bit of a break, and then come back re-energized and ready to go. We're just going to get comfortable on the lanes and be ourselves.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but it seemed the two of you didn't make a ball change throughout that match. Am I correct in that?
I didn't change
I did
balls.
not.
Okay. As some of your teammates did, and as your opponents certainly did, what about your particular games allowed you to stay in the more aggressive equipment longer?
I would say for my bowling ball, I was using the Black Widow Ghost, and we started it off with a little bit more surface, and that ball shines up pretty nicely. And so I was just able to move left and not really have to ball down, just because I started with surface, and then it just got shiny. So it worked out. Caroline?
Yeah, that's very similar. I started with the 900 Global Reality, so a little bit stronger with a little bit more surface. And so as it went on, I just played more with hand position than with ball changes or moving, just to kind of see the ball shape up and turn the corner a little bit better. It's very similar to what Mabel said. I think we saw the lanes very similarly.
Coach, heading into tonight, still a Baker format, but it's the best of 7. It's a little bit different than heading into a mega match. So how do you approach this with your team, knowing that you're not going to start with the traditional, you just got to go straight to the best of 7?
You know, I think the thing that we talked about a little earlier is that it's not really about doing anything else. It's about us. You know, the team that's going to be the most comfortable is the team that's going to win tonight. The team that relaxes, plays this game like it's any other game is going to do that. You know, I like our chances. We have the best of 7 Baker average in the country. Take that, Vegas. But you know, our girls love to make shots. They love to make shots and pressure. And you know, hopefully we'll make a few more than them.
So the freshmen started off a little weak there in that traditional match, but especially in the Baker, they definitely picked it up. What kind of gave you the confidence to stay the course and keep them in the lineup?
I think it's. I mean, you guys can probably correct me, but I do more things off of the way people are carrying themselves than really anything else. And if you look like you have things under control, then I'm less likely to like remove you, because there's a reason that they were in the lineup to begin with. And the reason when people start getting taken out and things like that is that their body language and their demeanor makes me feel like they're not either comfortable or they don't feel like they can do it. And so for us, it's way more about like body language and things like that. And that's something that the freshmen, basically since they got here, I mean, it's part of the reason that they don't ever really come out, is they carry themselves like they have things under control. And I would say about 95% of the time it's true, and 5% of the time they're faking it.